let's talk about a particular corner the Giants could
Ooh,
be interested in.
who could that be?
So, and that's Jaycee Horn. Jaycee Horn, a really talented player. So Empire Sports Media, who runs the Fireside Giants podcast, those guys might be you guys might be a little familiar with them. Suggested the Giants might be interested if it becomes available in Panthers cornerback Jaycee Horn. So on one hand, it would make sense. The guy's a former top 10 pick from South Carolina, immensely talented. He put up an 84.1 PFF grade last year. Like, that's really good, guys. He's still just 23 years old. He just turned in a couple months there, 2 months, he turns 24 finally. But hell, he's still younger than some of the guys that got drafted this year.
Yeah.
He's a prototypical size, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's going into his fourth year, and he already had his fifth year option picked up. So whoever gets him would get him for the next 2 years if the Panthers were decided to go ahead and turn around and trade him there. The major downfall, though, guys.
It's going to cost you.
I'm not even talking about that part yet, because that's going to cost you. That's for sure. But he's played in just 22 games in 3 seasons, guys.
Eek.
Yeah, including just 6 last year. So, do the Giants really need another injury-prone player?
Why not? Fits right in with everyone else.
But that's the thing, though, is you look at the potential, and that's where you get stuck on, because when he plays, he's really good. And if he could ever stay healthy, he'd be a potential Pro Bowl caliber player at one of the key positions on the field. If you listen to what Joe Schoen said on Hard Knocks and press conferences, all this stuff, he really looks at the value of the position. That's why we built up the offensive line. That's why we couldn't get a quarterback that they liked. At the 6th pick, they went ahead and got a great receiver in the 6th pick because they value certain positions. They value both lines, quarterback, cornerback, and wide receiver. Linebacker, safety, tight end, running back, not as much.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even hiding it, guys. It's pretty obvious. Let's be very frank about that. So you have the potential to get a guy who has the abilities to be a great corner if he can ever stay healthy. Because of that, you probably wouldn't have to give up as much for him. But let's be honest, you got a guy who puts an 84 PFF grade up and is healthy for all 17 games. He's not available.
No. This could be, but Shane's magic and connections. This could be a Brian Burns decision all over again.
I mean, but that's part of the problem that you got to look at this whole thing too. And I say problem because I really don't want him because of the injuries. But I mean, is you also got that friendship there with Dan Morgan, the GM of the Panthers, and Joe Schoen. I mean, these guys like legit get along. Like, they go on family vacations together. Like, that's how close they are. Like, Rob and I don't even go on family vacations together, and we're actually family. So it's like you look at that and you go, okay, well, he probably wouldn't mind doing it with the Giants again because they have a good relationship. But I also look at it like he probably got a little bit of poop on his face there for the Brian Burns deal, because if you watch Hard Knocks, you realize Joe Schoen would have given him more if he like Joe Schoen did his friend dirty to a certain degree, and I'm okay with the Giants fan, but he did his friend a little dirty there.
That's a friend that walks up and thinks, "Oh, this food tastes like shit. Try it."
Yeah,
I'll take your word.
So, I don't know. I don't know if he'd want to do business with him again after that. I'd probably be like, we need to keep this as friends and that's it. But like I said, I wonder, because the Giants are going to be desperate for a corner, guys. I really think that they realized that they made a mistake in this room. I mean, again, we talked about it. Nick McLeod got burnt bad today. I still think Banks is in over his head. We've talked about that this offseason. I think he'll get better and kind of be put under fire. But he's facing a gauntlet of top receivers this year, an absolute gauntlet. And he didn't do well in that role last year when he had to, when there was injuries. I'm not sold on him as a CB1. I'm not. I think he's right now a CB2 in this league. Nothing wrong with that. He's young. You need time to develop in that position. Jaycee Horn, if healthy, would be a CB1. It would automatically fix that problem for whatever time period he's healthy for.
Yeah.
But that's the problem is what do you want to give up for a guy like that? And then you run into the problem of, let's say you trade for him. You're giving up stuff for him, obviously. You really want to give up draft picks or something like that when you're trying to get a quarterback next year potentially in this draft? Like, let's be honest, guys. This roster is not amazing, but it's too good to be bottom 5.
Correct.
So you're going to have to trade up to get a quarterback. You don't want to be giving up assets right now. So unless you plan on trading a player for him, who are you going to give up for him? You giving up Darius Slayton? And that's been one of the talks.
I mean,
I can sense the hesitation here.
The thing is, it wouldn't surprise me because our coaching staff, this management staff, they've done Slayton dirty, and it wouldn't surprise me if they go, okay, let's do it. But they know they need the fans back, and they know the fans also love Slayton. But they're also the same coaching and management staff. They got rid of Barkley.
Yeah, but I don't think the fans even recognize, So, let's put your GM hat for a second. Dan Morgan calls you up and says Darius Slayton for Jaycee Horn. You doing it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know how I would react. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, part of me is I'm a huge Slayton fan. You know that. Like, I'm probably one of the biggest Slayton fans you'll ever come across. I think he's one of the most undervalued players in the NFL. I honestly do.
100%.
Because look what he's done with such crappy talent around him, with a not so great quarterback, and he's still consistent. 700, 700, 700, 700. I'm telling you, if you put him with a good quarterback and a good wide receiver next to him on the other side, he'd probably be 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I think he's that good. I really do. I think he's undervalued for what he is.
Yeah, I mean, early in his career, he had some of those drop passes that were right there in his arms, but.
And as Craig said, Hyatt ain't ready. Hyatt ain't ready. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I don't think Hyatt. I think Hyatt's much more of a project than people realized.
It's probably why he went to the third round.
I think part of the problem he runs into, to be very frank, is the fact that he's so skinny that he's getting pushed around a little bit. So I like I said, I would have such hesitation. I think my answer, if I would do that move or not, would be dependent on, do I think we plan on keeping Slayton past this year? Because Slayton's a free agent at the end of the year. If I don't think I'm keeping Slayton, I would make the move now and get something for him than lose him opposed to that.
So you got Banks, right? Sorry, you got Banks. You got Neighbors, obviously cheap rookie.
You got Neighbors, you got Robinson, you got Hyatt, you got Hodge, you got Allen Robinson. You got receivers. It's not like you have receivers. Nothing. It's not like you have nothing.
But I'm also going to have cheap receivers. So it's like, if you know you're not going to re-sign them next year because you got cheap receivers, then
that's what I'm saying. That's my factor in this. If I plan on signing this guy long term, as of right now, nope, not doing it. But if I think that Slayton's going at the end of the year and I don't plan on keeping him, I don't want to pay him, then why not do it? Take the shot. But I wonder if that would even be enough. I wonder if they'd want more. And if they want more, I'm not giving up draft picks. Not doing it. I need a quarterback next year, probably.
You have a 7th round.
7th round.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.